Let's move on now to Rachad White and the opportunity that he has with the Buccaneers coming into the 2023 season to be one of the top running backs in the league. But before we do that, if you have not already, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to get notified when new Bucs content gets released. Ryan and I, we have a lot more content coming out as we lead up to the 2023 season, which includes division predictions, season predictions, and also week-by-week game predictions, which will include a lot of Buccaneers content. So be sure to subscribe and ring the bell. This is the easiest way to see those videos. And Ryan, let's get into it here.
Let's do it.
Rachaad White is the clear running back one coming into the 2023 season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If I'm not mistaken, unless they've added somebody else in free agency from the time the draft has happened, but they only added Sean Tucker in the unrestricted free agent market, which actually I think was a good pickup.
Just because Trace Edmonds as well.
Oh, they did add Trace Edmonds as well, which I don't think that's going to be a clear threat. He's much older. So it is Rachaad White's job. He is going to be the number one guy. And on top of that, there's a lot of question marks overall around this offense just because they do still have the good receivers. They're getting older with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Russell Gage is also there as well. Mm-hmm. They're rebuilding the offensive line. But because of rebuilding the offensive line, and then also probably Baker Mayfield's going to be quarterback, a lot of running opportunities, a lot of handoffs. I could potentially see 15 to 20 touches a game for him, as well as also the ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. Like, he can be the bell cow back for definitely the Buccaneers.
Well, no, I mean, I totally agree. I actually, looking at this offensive line now, so Tristan Wirfs flipped over to left tackle, and Luke Goedeke, their second-round pick last year, is going to fill in at right tackle. And then actually, I think Cody Mock might be an improvement over Shaq Mason at right guard. Ryan Jensen's coming back from injury. Then you have Matt Filer at left guard. In a way, I actually kind of like this offensive line group. It's just if they gel together or not. Cody Mock obviously is going to have a learning curve there at right guard. But, I mean, I look at it and I'm like, well, that's actually not a bad offensive line. They still have the weapons to keep light boxes, right? And so then I still think that they'll have a fairly potent running attack, right? And so to me, that just makes me think that Rachaad White is going to be even better. So
well, because even then, if you go back and look at when Baker Mayfield was with Ramps, just his couple of games there, they didn't really do too much through the air. Anything that they did do was like there's a lot of short yardage, not too many deep ball passes. So everything kind of stayed contained within like that 10-yard box, which then opens up the opportunity for running the ball a lot and catching balls out of the backfield, which I think is where primarily their offense is going to be. Not going to be too many explosive plays. So with Rachaad White being the number one guy, they're going to want to try and get into short yardage situations and on third down, maybe even fourth down as well, depending on where they're at on the field, just to give them some options so that they don't have to punt every single time. So one of the reasons why with Rachaad White is there's just so many question marks, as I already mentioned, about the quarterback position and where this offense is going to go.
Yeah. No, definitely. And I think Baker Mayfield, he could come in and be a good game manager. But again, I just think they're going to want to focus on running the ball through Rachaad White. There's not really anyone behind him, like you'd said. Sean Tucker was an unrestricted free agent, but Chase Edmonds, Keyshawn Vaughn, neither of those guys are nearly as good as Rachaad White. And then I think you flip over on the defensive side of the ball. They were able to retain Carlton Davis. They still have Antoine Winfield Jr. and Jamel Dean. Levante David and Shaq Barrett are still there, even though they're getting older, right? And then Vita Vea, Kalijah Cansey, Greg Gaines, and then Joe Tryon-Shoyinka. Like, they still have a lot of what that defense was. And with Todd Bowles as the head coach, I still think this defense will be pretty solid going forward. So actually, I think their defense, ironically, was a lot of what kept them in games last year. And so if they're going to be in those close games, I think that just promotes them running the ball even more and more and more, like throughout all four quarters where they're not having to play catch up. So it's going to be a really interesting season to watch and see how they use Rachaad White.
Well, another thing as well, if you look at their division, 6 of these games, we don't know really how all the NFC South offenses are going to be. There's a lot of potential for all of them to be explosive and to be lethal.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, I could also see each of the three teams' offense fizzling out, which means low-scoring games, which means like just kind of burn the clock, want to maintain possession, and so Rachad White, I think, has a possibility here coming into his second year. I think also fantasy-wise to be one of the better running backs to draft because he's just going to get a lot of touches.
No, yeah, definitely, and I think in PPR leagues, he's not really going to be taken off the field too much for third downs as well. So I like what I'm seeing for Rachad White. But let's go ahead and wrap up this video there. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe and leave a comment down below on what you think of Rachad White going into his second season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Do you think he's going to be successful? You think the Buccaneers offense is going to suck and he's going to go down with the ship? Let us know down below. And other than that, we will see you guys next time.